When I listen to ECOWAS through the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, saying, we are going to bomb you, we are going to invade you, I knew that they were simply engaged in what metaphorically is defined as gunboat diplomacy. But the resolve that emanated from Burkina Faso, from Guinea-Conakry, and also from Niamey, Niger, was quite clear that we are going to defend ourselves, and it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be difficult if you choose to invade. And I think that the decision that they made to simply coalesce and quickly say that an attack on Niger is an attack on Guinea, is an attack on Burkina Faso, and you can see that it's not something that is informed by mere impulse. On the 3rd day of December 2023, they met and have now declared that they are going to form a confederation. This is very Nkrumahist. It is the same thing that Kwame Nkrumah and Modibo Keita were talking about with Mali and Ahmed Sékou Touré at that time. And this movement in the Sahel could very well be the mustard seed that Africa needs for Africa to begin to enter into confederal arrangements, and this may snowball into a continental government. It ought to be supported. It's not going to be easy. There are going to be headwinds. Those who never want Africa to unite are going to support insurgencies in Mali. They are going to support insurgency in Burkina, in Niger and Guinea-Conakry to ensure that this particular project is a stillbirth. But this time round, I think the resolve is deep and great. And what is that light saying? That light is saying, and it can be heard through the echo chambers, saying, you the colonizers, you the French, who in 1958 pretended to hand over political power, we no longer want to be with you. We no longer want to be your latter-day slaves. Traore is being heard as saying that. Traore is being heard as saying, you the neo-colonizers who have given us the short hand of the stick, you reap where you have not sown. You take our uranium, you take our resources, you take our minerals, and you give us a pittance. You are not going to do it anymore. You, the colonizers who handed over to us systems of governance that cannot work, including electoral commissions, including printing ballots in your own countries, including printing paper currency in your own countries, we will not allow you. He is saying that. You, the colonizers who, when we want to liberate ourselves, you create insurgency, you sow seeds of discord within our ranks, we are not going to allow you to do that. You, the African Union, who ought to be protecting us as Africans, you ECOWAS, who ought to be protecting us as Africans, you too appear to be mere lapdogs of the international order, particularly the West. To the extent that he is saying that, he is striking the right chords of a dissatisfied, disillusioned people in the continent of Africa, and their wish and desire is that there is a new dawn. Traore is being heard as saying, you the neo-colonizers who have given us the short hand of the stick, you reap where you have not sown. You take our uranium, you take our resources, you take our minerals, and you give us a pittance. You are not going to do it anymore.
It is time for us to talk serious business. Have you heard that ECOWAS, led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu and co, are asking Captain Ibrahim Traore to hand over to democratically elected government and leave office? Leave office to where? Leave office my foot. How dare you? How dare you ask Captain Ibrahim Traore to step down? Hand over to who? hand over to leaders who will sit down on their hands. Have you seen what Ibrahim Traore is doing in Burkina Faso? Have you seen the motivation that is motivating other African leaders? Have you seen that even when Donald Trump invited him, he turned him down? Vladimir Putin invited him, he turned him down. Made him offers, he turned them down. Check out what is happening in Burkina Faso. He has imported 900 tractors, more than 500 4x4 pickups. Look at the tractors, look at the equipment that he brought in straight and handed over to the presidential coordinators so that they can help to restructure, to rebuild and reposition Burkina Faso's economy, and by extension, Africa. How dare you ask a progressive youth who is delivering to hand over? We don't care whether he is a military man or not. Yes, he has no political experience, but we thank God that he has no political experience, because if Captain Ibrahim Traore has a political experience, maybe he would have been stealing and siphoning the Burkina Faso's money to France. But he has shut down France, he has shut down everywhere. I want you to spread this message to everyone that cares to listen. We are rooting for Captain Ibrahim Traore to be the president of Burkina Faso. If there has to be a democratic president, let him remove his military uniform and contest. And if it is possible for you people to give us, progressive Nigerians, ability to vote, we will vote for Ibrahim Traore. What nonsense are you talking about asking him to step down? Asking him to step down my foot. Captain Ibrahim Traore is the new face of Africa. Is the good thing that is happening to him. It's an answered prayer for African youth. I know that it is not easy. It has not been easy. Can you imagine how many death attempts on his life already, and none of them succeed? Look at him the other day playing football without security. A young man who said, I don't want any other thing but my salary, and he didn't increase his salary to a president's salary. His salary remains the captain level salary. He has not taken anything. He recently declared his asset of having less than $200,000 in his account. He has about $126,000 in his account. He doesn't even have up to $200,000 in his account as a president of a nation, and you want him to step down. He is not going anywhere. Ibrahim Traore is the new thing that has happened to Africa, and a lot of us who are even older than him, we are learning from him. And I know that the new face of Africa is Ibrahim Traore. Captain Ibrahim Traore, we are saluting you, and we all over Africa, all over the black nation, we are rooting for you. Anybody, they don't burn anybody well to touch Captain Ibrahim Traore. If you touch him, you have touched us, and we will come after you. I'm telling you, this is not making a threat, but this is telling you that nothing, God Almighty, inshallah, will protect Ibrahim Traore. I'm saying this on this day that is Salah Day. Yes, Barakah Salah. Barakah Salah. Ibrahim Traore, nothing is happening to you. I'm a Christian, but I support you. I'm a Nigerian, and I support you. And I pray that every other youth in Africa, in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Gambia, Egypt, everywhere, Ghana, Mali, everywhere, let's support Ibrahim Traore. Nothing will happen to you. You are doing us proud. You are showing these criminals that we can do it. Come on, man. Let's support him. Spread the message around. Send it to these leaders. Send it to their political advisors. Let them know that what we want in Africa is a light of Ibrahim Traore. And anything short of Ibrahim Traore is a no-no. We don't want. Very soon, very soon, very soon, Nigeria is going to be
back, family. Thank you for joining my conversation. I hope that you're doing good wherever you're watching from. I welcome you to this channel because you are in the safer place. And the white people or the Europe and America, have clearly came up and admits that they have lost their control over Africa. They have lost their control over Africa, and we have been coming here each and every day to speak about these issues. But there's some people maybe who just feel like we were just making stories, making noises, but we saw it coming. We saw it coming, and you know why is this happening? Just because they came to deal with the wrong target. They came to deal with the wrong target, and the wrong target is Captain Ibrahim Traore, because they feel like, and maybe they believe that when they came to deal with the Sahel leaders, or Captain Ibrahim Traore, because he's the main target, they never believe that maybe it is something that can take long or can bring any challenges that they are facing when they came out to deal with this guy. So, no, Africa of today is not of yesterday. I say this every day. I say this every day, that Africa of yesterday is not Africa. Africa of today is not of yesterday. And when you want to know that Africa of today is not of yesterday, things have come to change. Things have come to change completely. The Africans of today are having some things that those of yesterday, of the past years never experienced. The Africans are now accessing to internet. The Africans are now working under free corruption. The Africans are now getting the best leadership. They are ready to raise their voice. You know, they have gone down the history. They know what really they want, and they know where they came from. So during the reign and the rise of Captain Ibrahim Traore, you know, that's when he just come to revive and put more pressure to them, just to awaken them. But they were already aware of all that was going in Africa. So he just came to put more pressure in them. That's when things started to change. And at that time, that's when we started to experience Africans coming out, speaking loud their voice, condemning all that comes out in Africa negatively, making sure that they protect every leader that comes out in a way of speaking and protecting their dignities. They are there to work with the leaders who are ready to work and deliver to them. They are ready to make sure that they expel all imperialists here in Africa. That is what Africans have been doing. Africans are now accessing to best roads, you know, the best education system in Africa, the best health services and healthcare here. Since Donald Trump cut off the foreign aids, you know, the Africans have been getting access to healthcare system. People and the widows, the children, the women are now coming to benefit from their citizens without foreign aids. This means that the governments of Africa have been sleeping for a very long time, and that's when we have been feeling like we depend in the foreign aids, in foreign people, foreign powers to come and maybe do some things here in Africa. And through that process, that's when they have been taking advantages in Africa, so that they keep on coming and penetrating to Africa and do what they have been doing all that while. That's when they have been taking advantages. They know well that they must feed Africa with loans, you know, all these aids, so that they can come behind that and access to all that they want. And all that they needed is all about resources. So they have been coming here, take our resources with nothing to return, with zero interest. While they take all this to their countries, they go build up day and night their countries. They develop their own, and they left Africa in a poverty status. And that's, after all, they still come and expose Africa as the poorest continent. And they asked Africa to come back to Africa and build their own Africa. That's when you see that during the time Donald Trump came to office, the first things he started is to deport Africans back to their continent, so that they can go and build their own. And they started to build their own. They find their best leaders, they try to support them, and as they were doing this, then again these people are coming back to fight the leaders that we feel like they are the best for us. They are the best that can make maybe Africa to develop, to prosper, and maybe change its governance system. So why are they doing so? So I'll not go deeper to that, because it's not my topic of today. So
really means. Today we are standing for Africa. Yes. Today we are saying enough is enough. Enough! They tried it, they did it with Libya. They are not going to win with Burkina Faso. Never!
Never!
They touch Burkina Faso.
Never!
They touch Burkina Faso, we are banning this thing.
Never!
Going to ban every embassy down. French embassy, any NATO country.
Yeah. France is number one. Second, US.
They cannot come into our country, our continent, our land, and do as they did with Libya. We are not going to tolerate that.
My main aim is today is about the issue of ECOWAS, because this Korea has been there for a very long time, and maybe I feel like I thought that it is something that is just coming to pass, but as day goes by, things are getting to worse situation, because no side is ready to admit that maybe they have been defeated. No side is ready to surrender or to quit from this quarrel and these wars, and that is the reasons why we have to come and speak this today, because the Africans themselves have come out and say that all that has been going on between these organizations and these countries is not something that we can just keep on watching over everything that's being done there or everything that's happening there, and maybe we feel like we are on the safer side while we are busy here fighting that we want freedom, we want liberation, we want independence. So we have to engage in this. We have to come in so that we can know what's really happening, so that we have to come in so that we can know what exactly is happening and where can we go and maybe fix the mess, fix the problem that is encountering our leaders. So this is what this is the reasons why Africans has come to engage with this conversation and all these issues that has been going around these two parties.
We're saying to the world, no more can you continue to exploit the Africans. Right. The Africans, we have gone through centuries of being stupid, of being ignorant, of being dumb, of allowing the world to just piss all over us. Well, that period is over. Africans are saying, we now know what is really going on. And if you truly want to be an African leader that's going to survive this revolution, you have to be an African leader that is anti-imperialism, an African leader that is anti-neocolonization, an African leader that's going to stand with the people in their pushback against the West, against the East, and anybody else that thinks they can come to Africa and exploit us.
As PLO LUMUMBA has said, that the Africans, if Africa is not keen on everything that they are doing, then Africa themselves are going to burn their own countries. The Africans themselves are going to kill each other, and at the end of the day, we will not find any solution, will not come out with any opinion that can bring out a positive result. But all that will come out is when we will come to realize that we have killed ourselves to the end. It's the time that we find that we have destroyed our countries, we have destroyed for that little thing that we have built for that long time. We will come to burn and destroy it for a very shortest time, just because of some people who are not even Africans, but because they are using Africans to make sure that they get what they want. That is that is what they want. That is what makes them happy, because they have been using to do these tactics to make sure that they destroy, they divide, and they conquer, and through that they take whatever they want to take and go back to their countries. So,
Africa after decolonization was more or less the forgotten continent. Western countries did not want to engage it for whatever reason. China went in. China treated every African country as brother and sister, and China really invested hugely in Africa. Now, many other countries are talking about engaging with Africa, including the United States, many European countries, India, for example. The more the better, because Africa should not be a monopoly for any other country, not for China, not for anyone else. Africa is for...
People came out with different issues, different opinions, many people coming to support the leaders who are ready to fight these institutions or these organizations who have been there, claiming that they are there to help, but they are providing nothing in form of a solution. Because, this ECOWAS is an African organization, is an organization that is based in West Africa. So it's there just to deal with the issues that affect those countries in West Africa. But you find that these leaders, who they're really, I always believe that these people know really what's happening. They know that all that they are doing is bad. But because that they are working under some policies, under foreign policies, they're there because most of them, they were just installed there, and they know that they are not working for the Africans, but they are working for some people. So they cannot do the right thing. They cannot do what the people need them to do, but they have to submit and do what they're being asked to do. So that's when the problem is coming in, because when some African leaders, for those who have been withdraw themselves from this organization, they know the truth, and because they don't want to base on the truth and on the truth that was imposed there, they have to do not for themselves or for the people they represent. They have decided to withdraw themselves so that they can get good chance and good opportunity to work for their people. It has become a big problem. It has become a threat. Why it has come a threat? Because all that these organizations want them to do cannot bring a solution to these countries, because we have always known that the country of West Africans, these are the most corrupt countries. These are the most poorest countries. And when you go deeper in this country, you find that most of them, they are sitting on the top of resources. They own a lot of resources, but they are not bringing any benefit to their countries. When you go to the country like Nigeria produce a large amount of oil, but when you but just go deeper and find out the economy of Nigeria, the infrastructure and everything about development, Nigeria is a very, very corrupt country, not and less in development. There's nothing there which is very good. When you take a look at the infrastructures, there's nothing you can say that at least this side they have tried to do something. But all the leaders in this country are very corrupt. When you take the set of this country, the country itself is very dirty, poor drainage system, everything is bad. Everything is in bad condition. But when you take the leader of this country, Dr. Tinubu, has been the chairman of ECOWAS for a very long time, but he has not get any time to do anything to do with his country. And yet they are the first people who are standing frontline to fight the Sahel leaders. And these Sahel leaders, when you take a look, all of them, they are doing work. They are working to their countries. They are delivering to their people. That's why the people of that country loves their leader. They protect them day and night. They are not ready to see anything bad happening to their leaders, because they are getting all they want from their leaders, from the government. So the white people will only produce weapons for the Africans to fight themselves, to kill themselves, because after all, they have nothing to lose. When we as Africans, we kill ourselves, we kill each other, that's what they want. That's their benefit. That's their interest. Because when we keep on fighting, quarreling, all these things that is ongoing in our countries, that's when they get the chance to access and penetrate, take what they want here in Africa. So I'm so grateful that Africans of today have awakened up and they know what they want. They're ready to fight. They're ready to stand up, protect their leaders who are doing their best to make sure that they protect African continent. They protect their people. They reclaim their dignity. They protect the African wealth. So it is time now. I feel like the African continent is in a safer place because of the leader that we are having at this time. The current leaders that are the few of them who are working so hard to make sure that they retain Africa in its position. These are the only people that we have, the Africans of today have put hope on them. And with no regret, I say that the West have truly lost their control over Africa, because Africa of today is not in a way of being controlled. Because the large number of population here in Africa is youths, and the youths of today are not ready to be manipulated, to be brainwashed, or to be dictated. And that's why you see, even on their own countries, they are ready to overthrow their governments, which are not working. When you go to the country of Burkina Faso, before Ibrahim Traore came to power, there was a leader who was called Traore, and Traore was a leader who overthrew the government of that time. So in 2 years' time, this guy has been in power. He overthrew the government, which is not working or delivering to the people, and also he came to the power, but he was doing nothing to the people. And that's why the people, the military of that country, led by Captain Ibrahim Traore, they decided that to withdraw the government which was not performing, the government of Compaore. So today we have every reason to say that we are ready to fight for the Sahel region, we are ready to fight for Burkina Faso, for Ibrahim Traore and his alliance, because of what they are doing. And at this time, ECOWAS have to agree that they have lost their interest, their power. They have lost their control over Africa. They have the French has lost their power and their territories in West Africans. The French economy has collapsed, and they cannot come and address this because they know the reason. They have collapsed because they have lost everything that they have been getting from West African countries. They have been taking resources from these countries to go and put in their country. They have been ranked in all of the countries that are leading in resources like gold, diamonds, all those, yet they have nothing like mineral sites. So they know what they want. So in that clip I started to play first, I found I heard that white man saying that a lawyer saying that it's time they give Africans what they want and less to what they don't want. And what I can say is that at this time, what Africans want is freedom, independence, and peace. So if they can only give this to Africa, then the Africans will be grateful and will be satisfied for that. And less that we don't want is we don't want cooperation with them. We don't need dictatorship. We don't need their foreign aids. We don't need anything that associates with them unless they come out to do business with Africa, deal by deal, a deal to deal, business to business. That's when the Africans will be ready to associate with the European powers, but not in a way of that they feel like they're coming still here to dictate and colonize Africa. There is no more time for neo-colonization. No time for neo-colonization. The time has passed. Things has changed, and this is new Africa. This is a new generation, and this generation is not that you have to tamper with, because it's a dangerous one. The youths of today are very dangerous, and they can do anything just to make sure that they get what they want, and they expel, they dissolve what they don't need. Until next time, just tell me to have the comment section. I feel like I think you enjoyed the video, and if so, then speak out your views, comment, and I'll be so grateful when you come back next time, so that we can make the conversation such conversation, because we are doing this because it concerns us and no one else. Until next time we come and do the same, kindly, I appreciate for your time. Thank you for being here, and take your time.